All right. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmanuel. Excited to be on this call with you today. Today we'll be discussing an interesting topic, which is AI tools for Excel. But before I go into all of that, Emmanuel is the name. I happen to have been playing around with data for quite some time, professionally. I think the professional title for that is being a data analyst. So I also happen to have some experience in software development and data engineering as well. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. I also lead the team at CAMANDA today. Um, so it's kind of it's a joy to be here this afternoon. Um, okay, I love music. I love football. I'm not going to mention names, but my team happens to be one of the not one of the it actually happens to be a team that recently became the world champion. You can connect the dots yourself. So yeah, I love football. If that is not your team, we're not dragging you here, but that's not why we're here. Okay. Everyone is welcome to today's session. And if you're also a world champion like me, please do well to just give yourself another pat on the back. We need to just at least remind ourselves that that was something beautiful. Thank you. Yes, that is on the side. I thought I should just throw that in there. Okay. AI tools for Excel. While starting out this particular conversation today, right? It became apparent to me that there are different sides to this conversation when it comes to artificial AI. By the way, means artificial intelligence, just for context. All right, there are different sides to the story around artificial intelligence. So before I go into the real deal for today, all right, I just want to take a minute, two tops. I mean, I don't think we have a few persons on the call, so let's take a minute just to do that. All right, I'd like to get your take at the moment as regards to artificial intelligence. You can do well by either raising your hand, speak, or drop a message in the chat box. But I would love to actually hear voices. I'd love to get different opinions as regards to what you think about artificial intelligence today. So, who would like to go first? Who would like to go first? There's no right or wrong answer. Okay, I just want to get your opinion, your thoughts around artificial intelligence. Who wants to go first? Is somebody typing? Is somebody okay? Even if you want to unmute your mic and speak, can you raise your hand so I can give you the audience? What's your take today on artificial intelligence? Oh, well, okay, that's Uche. Uche says she's going to use that. She's going to use AI. Beautiful. But I'd like to hear somebody's voice. I would like to get someone's take on artificial intelligence. Who wants to build this cat?
So AI, it's a force for good, and AI can amplify your intelligence or amplify your ignorance.
Wow. 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 AI can amplify your intelligence or amplify your ignorance. Man, I needed to take that in for a few seconds. Interesting. Thank you very much, Eric, for that. I needed to take that in. I mean, the way he put that out there, I feel that was just too straightforward and too direct. That's good to know. Thank you very much. Adobe, let's hear from you.
Okay, good day. What I
Today.
want to say is that AI is here to stay. So we should not be intimidated by it, but we should learn how to adapt to it. That's what I can say.
Okay, AI is here to stay. We should learn to adapt to it. I love that. I love that. Thank you. Thank you very much, Adobe. Does anyone else want to lend their voice to this topic? I've heard from two persons. What's your take on AI? Actually, a poll has also just been released on screen in case that is easier for you to just select. You can just select on your screen what your take on AI is. I'd like to hear one more voice before I proceed. One more person. Okay. Ogechi, yes, fantastic. Help us here. Let's hear from you.
I mean, AI is an all-rounder in terms of what we need it for in our daily life. So clearly it's here to stay. And in the workplace, it really helps to improve, communication, leadership, and everything else that you need in your workplace. So I think it's probably our humans. Well, it's supposed to be a human's best friend at this point. So the earlier we embrace it, I think the better for us in general.
Okay, good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. Okay, thank you very much for this, and I do appreciate the voices lent to this particular topic. All right, and regardless of where you stand on the topic of artificial intelligence, right? I I I'm happy to announce, regardless of where you stand, whether you believe in it or not, you believe it's here to cause issues or not, wherever you stand today, right? I, I'm pleased to announce to you that we are in the age of AI. All right. In the age by the age of AI right now, it's there's probably an AI tool for something. There's AI something here doing some. There's AI doing A here, AI doing B here, AI doing C. Doesn't change what we know. I think I'll just borrow from Eric's leaflets here when he says it can either help you increase your um it can either make you smarter or make you dumber, whichever way you choose. So we're actually in the age of artificial intelligence. I think I gave this example during the course of the week, during a conversation with my team, and I I whether I like driving or not, cars we are here to stay. All right. They came here to solve a particular problem. Of course, there's a positive side of being on the road. There's a positive side of flying. There's also a negative side to these things, right? Well, I'm not here today. We're not here to dissect whether there's a positive or negative, but it's like this is something we're currently living in a particular era. A few years ago, a few right now is obviously very relative. Some 10 years ago, when it happened to be like applications, mobile applications were the thing to go. All right, I just wanted to draw a little insight from there. Um, at the time, there were no mobile applications for everything. I mean, there were desktop applications. Those were the in thing. There is a desktop application. There's Excel. There is PowerPoint. There's the OS. There's Windows running on your system, and so on and so forth. There was an application on your system. That is where they run. That's where applications were believed to run. Then browsers came up with the concept of trying to make something run via the web. Then suddenly we saw mobile apps in there, and mobile apps took off. 10 years is probably even too close. I think it's probably longer than 10 years. Like the Facebook, the WhatsApp, the to go of those days, and the rest. Guess what? When applications started rolling out, it became obvious that whoa, things that we felt we needed to do sitting in a particular location, we could not start doing them on the road. We could do them in a certain kind of way. I mean, mobile cameras were not the in thing at the time. It was a case of you still have to use your digital cameras, not digital. You have to use the kind of cameras we had at the time, your analog cameras, right, to get things done. But as the mobile thing became a lifestyle. It became a thing. Not everybody accepted it at the word go. But today, if you're not having a mobile device, it's almost impossible for you to do some things. All right. I mean, some applications today don't even have web application. They tell you if you don't have a mobile application, go download the app. That's basically what you are told to do. So there was a time when there were no mobile applications at all, or there are just very few of them. And it was the time mobile applications took off really well. And there's now an app for every. Just go to the Play Store today. There are billions of applications on the Play Store today. Whether you're talking about the Apple Play Store or the Google Play Store, whichever one you choose to, or even the open market for apps. So it became there came a time where it now became a thing like there's an app for this. Like there's an app to send emails, there's an app to take pictures, there's an app to send voice notes, there's an app to send WhatsApp message. Sorry, message, not even WhatsApp message. There's an app to send SMSs. There's an app to send WhatsApp messages and so on. This became the way things started evolving. So bringing that to where we are today, my money is on the AI era is not just going to fade away like today, tomorrow. All right. It's just going to be the same way where we had an app for something, an app for A, an app for B. All right. Where we had an app for A, we had an app for B. We're getting into we are now not even we're getting into, we are currently in the age where artificial intelligence, there is a tool for something. Like practically almost every week now, there is a new tool coming up doing something else beautifully well. I mean, there are applications that write applications that create other applications now, right? So we are currently in the age where artificial intelligence can now take care of some things. Sorry, at the moment, human beings are the ones utilizing these tools or creating things. But it's also going to get to the point, my money is on, it's going to get to the point where these tools will be able to do things by themselves. All right. They are now able to think for themselves to an extent, all right, and do some certain things on their own. Okay, I'll introduce a few concepts to us here today in the short space of time that we have. Okay, so we are getting to the point whereby there's an AI tool for A, there's an AI tool for B, there's an AI tool for C. Okay, the same way where we had an app for A, an app for B, an app for C. So if you are technical or love to get into the technical space of things, or you always wanted to create a solution or just wanted to get into tech, it's also actually a good time to get in, because artificial intelligence has basically bridged the gap between very, very technical persons and those who are not technical. So feel free to jump in and enjoy the AI age. Okay, that's my own recommendation. Feel free to jump in. You'll be amazed at kind of things that you'll be able to do even in this particular day and age. All right, enough of introduction into the artificial intelligence world. Okay, I just encourage you to use artificial intelligence. That's always where I leave that conversation. Regardless of where you stand, I would recommend you utilize artificial intelligence. Okay. Now that said, in the age of AI, when we say we are currently in the age of AI, what does that mean? Before now, I mentioned having a bit of software, not a bit, actually software background, and we have to write algorithms. You have to write line code 1, line code 2, line code 3 to be able to achieve certain goals. Those are the instructions that the computer would follow all the time. It feels at a particular point in time you have to come back, update it will change, and the application continues to run. Okay. But now we are in the point whereby you show the computer what you want it to do. Okay, I want an image like this. I want a voice note like this. I want something like this. And it is able to figure out the elements of all of these things. It understands patterns. It understands reasoning. I'm not giving AI all the credit here. No, human beings also have their role to play. But it understands patterns, it understands reasoning, understands how A connects to B, how B connects to C. All right? And it's able to produce or generate something that is unique. Something that is unique might not be the right word. Something that is new, it generates something new based off what has been provided to it. So we are currently in that era where even when it comes to analytics, for those who are using Excel, which is why we are on this call today, all right, for those who are currently using Excel, there is a tool, or there are tools now that you can start utilizing to do some things within Excel for yourself. Okay, I will try to introduce you to a few of them today, and wish you the best on the journey to be able to utilize all of the tools that will definitely come your way. All right. Okay, I wanted to introduce something, but I'll do that in my next slide. So I was saying that in the age of AI, we are now in the point whereby the computer is able to do some certain things by itself. Okay. Now let me introduce you to a few concepts around artificial intelligence that you should be paying attention to. Again, if these things are things that you've seen happen, you've seen people throw them around either intentionally or carelessly, don't worry. It's going to take all of us some learning to understand. Okay, I also am on the journey learning, utilizing artificial intelligence as well. I'm happy to share the knowledge I have gotten so far in the age of artificial intelligence. All right. I talked about having tools. Okay. Prior to now, you want to do certain things. Okay. You need, if you want, like, I mean, I know, I remember how I love to write very geeky Excel formulas, for instance. Okay. Or I want to create a chart. I want to do something. There are tools that can help you in achieving some of these things by automating it for you. That's where AI tools come into play. So when you hear a tool or when you hear an AI tool, consider it to be a piece of software that does something. Of course, it has a bit of machine learning. I don't want to go into those buzzwords here and there, but it uses machine learning to understand and automate tasks that need to be carried out. That is a tool. Okay. Now, the reason I'm bringing this clarification is because there are a few fine lines between some of these things, and if we understand them, we're able to utilize artificial intelligence to the best of its abilities. Okay. The other one I would like to introduce is what we call LLMs, or what not we LLMs. What are LLMs? Large language modules. For instance, for those, I know ChatGPT here. Please indicate by raising your hand. I know or I use ChatGPT. Indicate by raising your hand quickly. I know ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT. Okay. Thanks for those. Thanks for that, Tom. Okay, good. Just a few persons. That's less than that's 5 persons. That's not good. Or others just shy from raising their hands. So ChatGPT, right, is an LLM. In this case, it's a large language. Sorry, it's a tool. Sorry, ChatGPT is a tool in this case that uses large language models. I was almost getting myself stuck there too. ChatGPT is an LLM, or it understands how to use the models in it. Large language models. Like if you go, we don't usually, when you go to ChatGPT today, you don't. Sometimes they tell you what you say. There's a new version of ChatGPT. There's a new version of this. There's a new version of that. ChatGPT is just that web interface you're seeing that you can go and type in a question and you get a response immediately. That is ChatGPT. But behind the scenes of that, there are things what we call a large language model. In this case, there's the GPT-4, GPT-3, 4.5, and so on and so forth. For those who want to go really technical in there, these are or how do I explain them now? Models are trained, right, to perform to understand certain context. All right. So that when you are writing or asking it a certain question, it's able to respond to you based on what it understands. The thing that we don't talk so much about is that artificial intelligence is actually based on the knowledge that we have provided to it. Of course, there's a lot of world knowledge around today, and based on the world knowledge that is available today, most of these large language models are trained. They are trained to understand that after saying the word I am, after the word I am, it could be I am a guy, I am a lady, I am Emmanuel, or whatever it is, right? Then it's able to understand the general context, right? And then when you ask it, write the same thing in this particular context, it's able to say, okay, I am an estate surveyor, I am a data analyst. It understood the context prior to answering those questions. Those are what large language models do. So there are tools that utilize large language models. I'm taking my time to explain this because these intricacies can throw you off. You can even go ask some questions and you'll be led different paths. All right. ChatGPT, I have to say, it's a tool. It uses large language models. And there are so many other tools like that uses large language models. Okay. In Excel today, there are tools that also utilize large language models. All right. Just putting that out there. AI agents, quickly, because my time is running here. AI agents. What are AI agents? I personally, I love AI agents, right? And the reason I love AI agents is these are how do I explain it now? Agents are, I don't want to use the word tools, but I feel like I've already used tools multiple times already. These are things that they can take actions on your behalf without you being there. Let me see if I can rephrase that. Imagine, okay. Automation will say, when I get into the office every morning, make me a coffee, right? When I get into the office every morning, I get into the office, make a coffee, or at 8 o'clock rather, make a coffee. At 8 o'clock, make a coffee. That's automation. But AI agent will say, is this person in the office, understanding the context of the current environment, is able to take those actions? Is this person in the office? If this person is not in the office, why then do I need to make a coffee? It's basically making a decision at that particular point in time. It's able to, oh, you're currently not in the office. Do you want me to write an email to your boss saying XY? That's an agent at work. It is scary, but it's also sort of thinking on its own based on the scenario it is put into. All right. AI agents are meant to be able to run. There's this word that is used frequently, autonomously, which means they should be able to work on their own. Of course, we as humans get to put them on a particular path to get started. All right. I mean, we are getting to the point where AI agents can even create other AI agents. That is actually it's not scary, but it's actually a reality that we'll probably see very soon. But AI agents they're like workers. They can take certain actions on their own. And now this is where I think this particular point is when it comes to the agent bit of things. That is where the scare around job replacement comes in, really. Not around LLMs, not even around, because all of these things come together to do certain kind of things, okay? AI agents, I think that's where the scare about job replacement and all of those things comes into play. But I would like you to understand AI agents as those things that can take actions and complete tasks on your behalf. They can do things for you. Imagine if you didn't have to open your laptop, right, to run your reports in the morning. Let's say you have an Excel report you have to send out every morning, right? You have an agent that has been built to do that. It opens up, it wakes up in the morning. Well, you don't sleep. Does whatever cleaning needs to do, fetch data from here, fetch data from here. It doesn't find data here. It's able to go and get data from somewhere else and put all of that together and sends out a report all on its own. That is a job of an agent. It's able to run autonomously. It's able to do things by its own self. Scary but interesting at the same time. Now, what are co-pilots? Now, these are, again, Microsoft. I kind of make, I think I'll give credit to Microsoft and GitHub, the credit on making co-pilots popular. But co-pilots are just basically like robots waiting for you to give them certain instructions. They're like your partners, your teammates, your they are, how do I put it? They are like tools that you can, I think I would like to use the word tools over and over again, but I want to separate them because in the AI context of things, some of these things, they have their own individual usage. Copilot is meant to go with you wherever you go to. Like, if you don't ask it to do A, it's not going to do A. It's like a robot. If somebody says, how much is this particular thing costing in this particular organization, a copilot or a robot can respond at that point in time, right? So if you understand, there's a slight difference between how robots work or copilots will work versus how agents can work. They can do similar things, but the one takes actions on its own. The other is kind of waiting for you. I don't know. You say I love AI agent, then more time for humanity. Oh well, true. More time for humanity to go do something else. That's what we are being told. We need to go do higher order things. But yeah, co-pilots are also tools that have been sometimes not embedded into some of the applications or tools that you use today. You are currently chatting on WhatsApp today. There is Meta's own, as Facebook's, WhatsApp's parents. Facebook has a tool in there waiting for you to ask it a question or whatever it is. All right, it is already embedded in there. That particular tool is runs on an LLM. It runs on a large language model, because the large language model bit of all of this whole thing is the ability to generate text. Not just text. The ability to generate certain outputs. Okay. The ability to generate certain outputs. So when AI agents are working today, they use LLMs to be able to generate certain outputs. When you hear AI agents today or you hear AI tools that are generating audio for you today, they're basically working on LLMs behind the scenes to generate the output in text. There's something else is transcribing it into real audio and giving it the cadence that is required behind the scenes. So LLM is kind of the bedrock, one of the bedrocks behind all of these tools working the way they are supposed to work today. Okay, I hope this is clear. I hope I've not confused you. If there's any confusion at any point in time, please do also drop a message in the chat box. I will do my best to clarify. All right, I'll do my best to clarify. The last two things I would want to talk about here before we go into the Excel bit of things is prompts and tokens. They kind of go together. What are prompts? Prompts are instructions you give these tools as a human being, or system design prompt that system is meant to honor. A prompt is it's kind of an instruction you give to an AI or an AI tool to do certain set of things. I want you to do A, B, C, and D, right? You pass that in as a prompt. Normally we call that, before now, it's like an instruction. If you use the word instruction, you won't be wrong. Okay, prompts are basically instructions that you give to these tools to perform certain kind of things for you. I want you to call me Emmanuel. It's to call you Emmanuel. No cap. Do you understand? To call you Emmanuel. But I want you to call me someone. It will do that. It's a prompt. You ask it to do that. It's going to give you that back to you. So that is where I would say, as humans, we cannot sleep on this new era that we currently find ourselves in. How do I mean again? We still have the power to be able to make these things go the way we want them to. So I think instead of being afraid of using AI, right, or what AI is going to do, I think we should be at the point where we can utilize artificial intelligence to do what we want it to do. I think that's going to be a higher order kind of thing that we can be doing as humans. I'm particularly not afraid of what AI can do. I'm actually interested in what I can do with it. That is where I stand today with respect to that. Now, when it comes to prompts, there's something that almost follows it. In the digital age today of artificial intelligence, this is the currency we currently spend, tokens. It's not USD, whatever it is, but tokens. What are tokens? Tokens are basically a measure of how many words or how many words. Let me use words to keep it simple. How many words that this particular AI or LLM is processing. Okay, so the currency we kind of spend in the artificial intelligence world today is what we call tokens. So that instruction you're passing on to the AI tool to do something behind the scenes is counting how many words, how many instructions. When the AI tool goes to do some certain things behind the scenes, some tokens are being spent. All right, so this is the way these businesses today keep track of how much they are giving versus how much they are getting. Okay, it's kind of the new digital currency when it comes to the digital. I mean, some of the tools you use, not some, almost all the tools you use today would ask you to pay some XYZ amount today to buy tokens. All right, to get tokens to be able to use the AI tools that are currently available in this day and age. Right, so I know some other ones they don't stress you, like Facebook doesn't stress you to buy tokens to use their tool, which is good. ChatGPT today doesn't stress you with that. But if you notice when you are chatting with ChatGPT at some point, it looks like, please can you slow down? You're using a lot. What that means at that point in time is ChatGPT or the guys behind ChatGPT, the open AI guys are like, hey, seems like you're talking too much today. Can you please slow it down a bit or utilize a model that is not too expensive? Okay. So I thought I should bring this concept to you before then talking about Excel. The reason I brought all of this today is because when we're discussing these things in Excel or around Excel, we have an understanding of what we are dealing with. Okay, so at this point, I'll catch my breath and then take any questions or comments before I proceed from anybody who wants to make a comment, ask a question, or whatever it is at this point before we proceed. Or if it's clear to you, just give me the thumbs up. But if it's not clear to you, please indicate. I'll call you so we can have questions answered. Don't do thumbs up if it's not clear to you. If it's clear to you, please do the thumbs up. But if it's not, please either drop a message or indicate by raising your hand so I can call you and we can discuss this quickly. I've gotten thumbs up for like 3 or 4 persons. Every other person, are we good? Is it clear so far? Are we good? Okay. I'll wait again. Do we have questions from anybody? Comments before we proceed? Okay, I'll take that to be a no for now. So is Microsoft Copilot not an LLM? No, Microsoft Copilot is not an LLM. Nope. Microsoft Copilot is not an LLM. Microsoft Copilot is a tool just like ChatGPT. All right. I'll classify it as a tool. It uses LLMs behind the scenes. It uses large language models behind the scenes to do its job. I wouldn't classify Microsoft Copilot as an LLM. No, they didn't generate any. They didn't create their own large language model. They are basically riding on. So Microsoft is riding on something called Azure OpenAI, which is their partnership with the guys behind ChatGPT today called OpenAI. So they are riding on OpenAI's LLMs to do what they are doing today. The same way Apple, I think Apple Intelligence, right? Apple recently, I think the new Apple iPhones come with Apple Intelligence. I think that's what it's called. Behind the scenes is an LLM that is powering all of those interactions. That's right there. It's not an LLM. There's an LLM behind the scene doing the job of interactions, but Apple is now designing the experience they want you to have. All right, that the LLM can power. Hope that's clear enough. I hope I didn't confuse you with that answer. But yes, Microsoft Copilot is not an LLM. Okay. If you're still typing your question, I'll wait for it, but I'll have to continue for now. If you have any question at any point in time, please do well to call my attention. So let's proceed. So now when we speak about Excel, by the way, Excel is not the only. I don't think there is any aspect of life today that, especially that has a bit of electronic version to it that AI is not going to invade. I don't know if there's any. If there's an application doing something today, there's a very high tendency that artificial intelligence can go in there and also make things an N% better. Okay? I'm not giving artificial intelligence all the credit. I'm basically saying that it can go in there and just basically do some things better than we currently are doing it today, based on what we currently know. Okay? So some tools that are available today, and I did some research as regards to this, that Excel itself is Excel is a very beautiful tool from Microsoft. Microsoft is not taking Excel away anytime soon, at least not to the best of my understanding. I don't think they're taking Excel away anytime soon. But even Excel as a tool needs to start adopting or utilizing artificial intelligence. I don't know if I'm putting that in the right way, but Excel is there to stay. Excel is here to use for analysis. Your BigQuery, your other tools are going to be here too. But artificial intelligence is finding a way to weave itself into the fabric of practically everything we do. A good example is today in Excel, I need to write a formula. And instead of thinking about what that formula should be, I can use an LLM or a chat tool like ChatGPT to ask, hey, what's up? Tell me what formula to write in this particular place. It will spit out the formula for me. I can take it to my Excel and I'm good to go. Right? Even in Excel today, there are other tools that are also now being implemented inside of Excel that you can start utilizing out of the box. Now, I will speak to generally these tools are in front of you, and then we'll try out a few of them before then rounding up for today. Number one on the list is Cloud. Again, this is not a marketing campaign for these guys. It's just about the experience I've had with them, and I'm just going to speak around it. And I'll try to show you one or two of them before we round up here. So Cloud AI from Anthropic is, I feel that the Cloud tool is one very smart artificial intelligence tool, smart in its own right, because the way it responds to some of the questions that are put to it is quite smart, to be honest. Okay. Now, Cloud, to use Cloud today, I think I should say this for all. No. To use Cloud today, you need to visit the Cloud AI platform, which in this case is cloud.ai. You need to visit cloud.ai to be able to utilize the Cloud tool today. I'll try to showcase that to you, how to use it. Okay. Now, when you get into Cloud, just like you are using with ChatGPT, there are some things that you need to understand. Like, if I have data in front of me, Excel data in front of me, what can I do with this? when I have an LLM tool in front of me, what can I do with this? Because right now, the age of AI that we currently are finding ourselves, we are currently at the point whereby some of the things that we used to do manually before, there's probably an AI tool that can do something like that in a matter of seconds. I mean, I used to spend some hours designing some reports some few years ago, or maybe start trying to wrap my head around some formulas that I need to write, which was a very interesting thing to do. But those formulas or those things can be done for me sometimes in a matter of seconds nowadays. So why not advance and continue to improve on things that I can do? So cloud for me is one of those tools that gives you that. Now, let me give context around cloud. And this is one of the things I want to, I will showcase this to you shortly. When you're using some of these tools today, because some of them are standalone tools, you need to take your data to them. Now, that sounds scary, but I will explain. Because they are not currently built to run inside of Excel, right? You need to take your data, like I need to have an Excel file in front of me, then utilize it to maybe talk to cloud, and cloud is able to give me some analysis based on that. That's one way to utilize the AI tools. The other way to utilize AI tools today is like what Microsoft Copilot is offering today, which is having the AI tool within the Excel. Now, there is no one that is wrong. I'm just going to speak now as a data analyst. Over the years, I've worked with businesses' data, exposing business data to another human being. Talk more now of a public or a possible another tool is not what we do as analysts. I don't do that. It's not something that we do. Okay, so I will actually try to advise caution when utilizing. Again, I know I say use AI tools, but I also need to be the one to tell you that utilize it, be of course within the allowed limits that your organization, especially if you're working in a space, or if you use your own data, please do as you please. Okay, that is allowed. Okay, I'm explaining that because we don't want a situation whereby your business information is made available maybe over the internet, either through a leak or whatever it is, and it's because you basically either volunteer that information or you allowed a tool to come in. Because guess what? Cloud, Copilot, ChatGPT, all of these tools, they are working with what you are providing with them. Remember, I talked about prompts not too long ago, all right? Your prompt is you basically telling a tool something about yourself or something about the information you're providing to it. So if that kind of information is something that is allowed, please share. If it's not, please be careful when utilizing it, or look for what your organization currently does allow. I thought I should mention that while I try to talk to you around these tools. Now, Bricks in front here is actually a very smart tool. And the reason I think I will showcase Bricks, I'll showcase Bricks to us in real time here today, because I think that's one of the ones I love so much. The reason I love Bricks is Bricks doesn't just wait for me to, Bricks does what I would expect Excel to do today. That's when Excel and Copilot gets to a particular level. How? Once I have data, I don't want to be the one to start making some assumptions myself. Bricks, what does Bricks do? Bricks takes my data and tries to make some analysis for me. That's what I love. Again, use what is necessary for what you are trying to achieve. If you are trying to write an Excel formula, go to Claude, go to ChatGPT. That's your job. All right. If you're trying to use like Bricks, for instance, Bricks takes your data inbuilt in and tries to create a sweet dashboard or a simple dashboard based off the data that you made, that is made available to it. And yeah, you can then take things from there. All right. Copilot is the one from Microsoft. Now, now Copilot is available to there's a little there's not restriction for you to use Copilot today. You need to have a paid, all of some clouds, for instance, allows you to do a bit of things free. Of course, there's a paid version of cloud. All of them have paid versions, all of them. Okay, but Copilot today is one I know that before you can even utilize it today, before you can even test it, you must have a paid account. So that's like the only difference between Copilot right now and not the only difference. I already explained the first difference. The first difference is that it currently is embedded inside of Excel. You can use Copilot from within Excel today. All right. If you have the right subscription and you're paying for it around, I think by time of this session, I think that's around 30 USD per month. If you can, if you have that within your coffers, please utilize it. Your company might actually want to support you to get Copilot within Excel, and that would be great. Okay, at least it's managed by your organization and so on and so forth. Then ChatGPT, obviously. I mean, we got to know about many AI in progress because of ChatGPT. Not saying that ChatGPT is the only AI tool out there, but ChatGPT happens to kind of lead the way sometimes some of these things. Now, they all have their strengths slash and weaknesses. I'll put it like that. So in the age of AI, try the one that works for you. Use the one that works for you. Okay. Now, the last but not the least, when it comes to AI toolkit, is your add-ins. Now, other tools I've talked about right now, like apart from Copilot, you can use Copilot within Excel. Cloud, you have to go visit the platform. Bricks, you have to use the platform. ChatGPT, you have to use their platform. Now, add-ins are embedded already inside of Excel. Okay, so some people have built some tools. Remember, I talked about tools earlier. They are not agents, they are not what they have built some tools that are meant to do certain things, summarize this, translate this, do this, and so on and so forth. So you can add those add-ins today to your Excel file and utilize them from within Excel as well. So really, how to utilize this toolkits is completely up to you. I'll showcase a few of them to you today, and I wish you the best. I'm sure we're going to have another session where we'll go into maybe each and every one of these tools privately in a different session. But today, I'll try my best to cover as much as possible within a short space of time. Now, let's start with okay. Wait, before I proceed, has anyone here tried any one of these tools before now? Maybe have a particular preference if I proceed to Excel. Has anyone here tried any one of these tools before now, and do you have a particular preference?
Yes.
Anybody?
Claude and ChatGPT. I haven't tried Bricks.
Okay.
Copilot, yeah, maybe just a little bit. But Claude, for me, I think, like you rightly said, depends on what task you are trying to accomplish. So in terms of academics, and then probably the App Store on ChatGPT allows us to. I use consensus because of its to avoid hallucinations. So I use consensus inside ChatGPT that has at least over like 100 million published empirical data or
Yeah.
journals. So that using that, it cuts out the hallucination aspect of ChatGPT. So for research writing, I use that. But when it comes to more like business analysis, Claude seemed to do an amazing job in giving out what I really want. So I think these two for me are the major ones.
Good. Thank you very much for sharing that, Eric. Can I get what about any other person? I saw some persons have responded in the chat box. Is anyone willing to lend their voice? ChatGPT has been used by quite a number of people here. Bricks for org chat, good. Copilot for in-mail messages. Oh, beautiful. Okay. So let's start then with okay. I'll start with Copilot. And I will say for obvious reasons, Microsoft will fight me if I don't start with Copilot. Okay. Okay. So let me start with Copilot, and I will take time to just explain to you how the Copilot tool works. Now, this is not the one within the Excel. All right, this is not the one within the Excel because Copilot is available both as a chat tool and also as a what's that English now? Yeah, as a chatting application on its own, and also as a tool within Excel. All right, I'll show that to you shortly. Let me show you. This is currently my screen where I have as a plugin. Thank you. I thank you very much for that. Or as an add-in, as Microsoft officially calls it. All right. So there are two versions of Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. All right. If depending on what account you are using to achieve it, or what you are using to access it. If you are utilizing your work account, then you most likely will have access to what is called the M365 Copilot. But if you don't have access to that, you have access to what is called Microsoft Copilot. Please don't be confused by Microsoft. It is just their way of, Microsoft has two kind of businesses, not just two, but B2B and B2C. So the B2B business is, when it has to do with businesses, is usually the M365. Anything you see tied with M365, that's usually around the business individuals. But when you see the one that has Microsoft attached to it, that is the one that is made available to every other person. So today I use either or. But now to use for today's session, I'm utilizing first the M365 Copilot. Now this is currently available. I'll drop it as a URL for you in the chat. If you're able to access it, maybe using your work account, fantastic. Now, the reason I'm starting with M365 Copilot is because of its natural integration with your Microsoft. We're discussing Excel today, right? Its natural integration with your Excel and tools and other documents you have within your work environment. The good thing I love about how Microsoft has brought this for us is, remember when I said earlier, we have LLMs doing different things behind the scenes, right? But Microsoft has decided to build this their own chat tool such that you are interacting with your own business information, not public information. You're not asking it. You can ask the tool to generate something based off the internet. It will do that. But you can also ask it to specifically respond to you based off a contract document you have in your Microsoft OneDrive today, or your OneDrive today, or in your SharePoint folder. Okay? So the reason I'm starting with this is it's quite easy to utilize this tool to connect to, as you can see here, it's going to ask me, you can add content from your files. That this right now, these are files from my OneDrive. All together, these files are currently from my OneDrive. So in this case, I have a PDF file. I know we're discussing Excel, Copilot for Excel, but I have a PDF file that explains maybe a contract term better. Then I have an Excel file with some information inside of it. With Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot, right? M365 Copilot, you can securely, that's what Microsoft promises us. Again, I'm basically quoting Microsoft here. You can securely connect the tool to read information from your own business data within your organization's firewall and all of those beautiful things, right? And then answer questions based off that. Okay? I thought I should mention it that way, because if you already have Microsoft 365 in your company today, this should be your first point of call. If your admin has made it available to you, which I think is available to everybody, use this first. Don't take your business data to ChatGPT first, because Microsoft tries, again, I'm not a Microsoft representative, but I'm speaking based on what we've learned so far from Microsoft. They try to keep business information within the business scope. As in this case, within the business environment. All right. So in this case, I have a particular file here, which is my financial sample data. I'll showcase that. I'll show you what that looks like in Excel shortly. So adding the file here is as simple as clicking on the plus sign and adding what content I want to analyze. In this case, if I had other documents that make sense, I can attach that together with this file. Okay. Now I'm using Excel file because this is purely for Excel at the moment. By the way, these things I'm discussing with you so far, Google also has. We're going to probably have a different session for Google Sheets. Similar tools also exist today for Google Sheets. So it's not like you're losing out on one. You're not losing out completely. You just have to know what tool is available for Google Sheets and utilize it. Okay. So in this case, Microsoft 365 Copilot is available for this particular for Excel. So in this case, without even opening the file, for instance, I can just ask this tool. Now, this is where prompting comes into play. If you've not understood prompting is basically me passing an instruction to the system. So right now, I've attached a file. I've not opened the file. It's just linking it. And I'll say, what kind of data? Now, let's do something exploratory in this case. Let's try to understand what kind of data we have is available here. Okay, just nothing too serious. This right here is what we call a prompt. This right here, this message is your prompt. It's the more detailed your prompt is, the better. But this is a general class, so let's not go into we are going to do a bit of detail, but You get the gist. Right here, the more details, if you provide more context to an AI tool, it does its best, especially because those ones that run on large language models, they do their best to understand context by you providing more information to it. Now, more information in this case is not just throw every information you have to it. No. Provide context. Oh, we just finished our 2024. Let me even write that here. We just concluded. Now, we in this case can be your business. You can write your business name there. We just concluded year, what's it called? Year sales. And this data was provided. Okay. This is me providing extra context. If I already know what was available in this particular file, I can just provide that as extra information that I already have. Okay. Now, you know your business better, or you know your data better, or you know your application, whatever you're using, your data better. So please provide the context for the AI tool. The AI tool can only do its best based on what it has, what it has. Okay. The more information it has, the better. I think I've stressed that enough. Then what kind of data is available here? Let's just keep it like that. Then I can hit my enter key or just press send here, and Copilot goes to work. Now, this again, I repeat, is what we call the Copilot chat. Copilot chat is a standalone application we can access over the web. All right. This one is currently available. I send the link in the chat box. The other one is available on copilot.microsoft.com. That is the one that's available publicly. Whether you have a business account or not, you can access copilot.microsoft.com. That one you can subscribe with your Google account and you'll be good to go. So use whichever one you're comfortable with. But this one right now is the one that gives you the access to use your business data within the context of Copilot, within your environment. You can see there's all this verification. And can you see up here, Microsoft just reminding us enterprise data connection protection is applicable to this particular chat. Basically just reassuring you over and over again. Okay. So now this, we've sent a simple prompt here, and the system has gone to work and has provided the financial blah 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 contains sales and financial performance for a company across markets, product lines. Here is the breakdown of the data available in there. Okay, it has gone to work based on my Excel file. This is me already trying to generate some information based on my Excel file. Again, you can see right here that even at the end of this whole plenty text, this is where our large language models. I need to stop using that. I stop calling it in full. LLMs. This is where they play their role. They can spit out things easily. Their job is to understand context and spit out responses. But at the end of this, you can usually see the system is already saying, "Okay, Emmanuel, are you cool with this?" Here it has asked me, "Would you like summary like this, like this, like that?" It has even asked me here some prompt samples right here. This is, can you show me the top selling product? What are my monthly sales trend? This is what we call prompt samples or prompt template, not template. In this case, it has based, not this one is not the template, but prompt samples. In this case, it has understood your data and is providing you some prompts that you can send by just clicking on it. We started the first one. It has given us this. If I say, what are my monthly sales trend? Let's just do that quickly, just for the sake of today's session. And I tap on it. It puts that in there and I hit enter. Guess what happens? It goes to work again based on my Excel file, tries to understand the context within the Excel file, tries to, again, as it says, analyzing. You can ignore the plenty English here, analyzing. So it's doing some work behind the scenes. If you are interested in seeing what kind of work it does, it sometimes can reveal that to you. This drop down that is shown here right now can reveal what is currently doing behind the scenes. If you are really interested in what happens under the hood, okay. Now, here is the monthly sales based on the data in your file. I have just gone straight from understanding what is there. I didn't even ask you to show me the data. I've gone from there to generating a sales trend based on the data in my file. Hello, this is something that you would have gone through an Excel class. That's if you don't know how to use Excel, in order to learn how to create charts or create pivot tables before then creating your charts. I'm not saying don't learn it. Learn it, understanding. See, context is very important. The reason why I love the AI era we are in today is that no matter the field you are in, I am a mechanic, I'm a barber. Sorry, I don't know if that went too far. I'm a mechanic, I'm a doctor, I'm an analyst, regardless of your field, regardless of your field. You can use artificial intelligence. You can bring artificial intelligence into that field to provide it context, and it will do its best based on the knowledge it has to provide you answers that may be applicable to you. I follow the company. I was reading about a company recently that they are bringing artificial intelligence into understanding medical documents. Today, medical documents is not one of the things that these AI tools currently do great at. In short, in short, I think it's like a no-no for let the medical professionals still handle that. But imagine if you're able to take a medical result and you are able to provide. This is just a little digression. Are able to provide it to these tools, there's a particular application, as a particular AI tool built specifically for that, and it's able to interpret your results, maybe like how your doctor would have, or even maybe better in this case because your doctor is one person, but the AI tools tend to have broader knowledge, which needs to be controlled anyways. Do you get? So you can bring artificial intelligence into your space today. I love what Eric said earlier. Eric said he's doing, when it comes to research, he's using a particular set of tools. Yes. You can also use this for research. You're a social media person. Use this for social media. You can use it to generate content for your social media. Yes. That's the world we are living in today. Anyways, we're talking about Excel. Now, it has basically gone to work and has shown me a chart of my sales trend within what's it called, and giving me a chart here, and also provided me some key observations from there. Now I can ask further questions. I can ask you to generate something, maybe generate me a summary based on the countries, provide me something based on this, provide me something based on that, based on the Excel file. So if you know those questions that your boss normally would ask you, is that a right thing to say, Manuel? Before somebody can say his boss, you can't tell ChatGPT to respond to him. Don't do that to your boss, please. You say you be the person who uses the tool and provide the response to your boss. Okay. So you can utilize these tools to answer some of those questions that are naturally asked of you daily. All right. I know time is fast spent, but I just wanted to show this to you quickly. Without asking you to do much, it has gone in and showed me that June and December consistently show higher sales value, suggesting peak period. I can ask it, okay, can you explain or expand on these peak periods you speak of? All right. Are there specific, I don't know, products we must pay attention to? Now, this is me basically digging further into the current data set that has been, we provided one data set in this case. If we had more, it would play with all of it. Okay. Now, are there specific products that we must pay attention to? We can ask this further and it will do its best to provide answers, but let's keep it at this for now. And let's see how much of a work it's able to get to behind the scenes. Now, please don't. Now, Emmanuel has said use AI, but don't just leave your whole work to artificial intelligence. I would also expect you as a human in the loop to make sure that whatever this guy is providing is equally accurate. Now, it has done its own best job to understand the context based on what you have provided. But please, I would say don't abdicate your role completely to AI. Be the person. It has generated these responses for you. Understand what it has said. Don't just say because AI says so. AI says so is not an answer. Please, I beg you. I know we used to say Google it. Anything that Google says is the truth. No problem. But because AI said so doesn't mean that has to be the final say. You are still the human involved in that part. Be the human that uses AI, not the one that AI is using up and down. Okay. So as you can see, it has brought out my December products, right, from this particular data set and put that out to me and say, these are the products. Here are the top performing products from. So this is like answering your boss's question in a space. You're in a meeting and somebody is asking what products perform better in a particular period of time. Just 1, 2, 3 prompts with that same data already available in Excel, and you're already having an answer. Boy, wondering how are you doing it? if they give you, if your salary gets increased based on that, please remember this particular masterclass. Thank you very much. I thought I should let me let you know ahead of time. So be that human that uses artificial intelligence tools to do these things. Okay. This is the June sales. As you can see, we have similarity between these two products, and inside it's providing you some recommendations. So based off what we have provided, it is taking it a step further and providing us some of these recommendations. Okay. Now, of course, we can go on and on with this. If you wanted to write a particular formula, you can ask it to write a formula here and to do that. Okay. But now this is me using a tool outside of what's the word now? This is me using a tool outside of Excel to do artificial intelligence related activities. I wanted to show you cloud, but I think cloud is probably the same. I would love to show you something with cloud, because there's something that cloud does very fantastically well that I think is great to showcase. Okay. I don't have to share this other one. It's practically the same thing. This is Microsoft Copilot, the one that works with your Gmail and the rest. So if you're not able to use the one within the work environment, please use this you can use this particular one privately and it works for you. I have a colleague of mine that loves using Copilot. I don't know what Copilot did for them, but they love using Copilot. That's their own bread and butter. Okay. Now that is for that one. Now let's take it a step further. Okay. We'll take the same data set to cloud. By the way, if you want to learn how to improve because prompting, I've talked about prompts earlier. Prompting is where you get to separate yourself from every other person who is using artificial intelligence today. How you get to prompt your questions to get answers is sometimes what separates you from other people. So learning that is equally a skill for this day and age. Okay, it's a skill for this day and age. Learning how to write a prompt to these tools, how to use these tools. Okay, if you want to learn how to use some of these tools, cloud, not necessarily for Excel now, but cloud, Copilot, all of these other AI tools, please drop a chat, drop your name and drop your name, email, and your name, email address, and phone number in the chat box. Someone will definitely reach out to you from the team to sign you up for our AI courses and classes. Okay, now this is cloud, cloud.ai. I'll also drop the link in the chat box. If you want to learn how to utilize these tools, please do well to drop. Oh, someone dropped a message. Can I reconfigure the formula within the sheet you uploaded and produce new data? Yes. You can actually do that. You can. Without even asking it to do, you can just tell it, give me the percentage discount. For instance, one of the things I love to do, I deal with this is, give me what my percentage discount is, which I don't have in the current file. It calculated it and gave me a new file which I could download. Yeah, so it's possible. That's the question from Ehime. Yes, it does that for you. Your hand is up. Do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, so the new downloadable file would it, let's say you tell it, oh, with the data sets that you have, produce maybe a chart or something. When you produce a chart, you would see the chart in the Excel sheet, right?
Okay, thank you very much. That's a very fantastic question. No, you don't see that in the Excel file. Now that's why I said there is tools that you use inside of Excel. There are tools you use outside of Excel. Does that make sense? The tools you use inside of Excel are the ones that generate things that stay within your Excel context. That's within Excel as a file. Do you get that? Is that clear enough?
Yeah.
Generate a chart for me, like Copilot. Now, the same Copilot that we have out here, if you tell Copilot within Excel to do the same job for you, to generate a chart for you, and that chart is generating for you, is something that will remain as a chart within Excel, which you can obviously edit and update as you wish. Does that make sense? So depending on as I think I explained this earlier, Copilot as a tool, Copilot chat is available for free. Utilize it. If you want to use Copilot inside of Excel, you need to have a paid subscription for that. Please either speak to a paid subscription and an organization account for it. Please speak to your organization IT admin to make that available. And if you're the one in charge of your IT, fantastic. I think it costs around 30 USD at the moment per month. So enjoy. Now, which is with cloud. There's a different way cloud, and There's a different way cloud does its job. And this is why I'm talking about the external tools, the tools that you just upload your file to and it does some job for you. The reason I'm bringing this up is because these tools, the way they try to understand your data is different. Okay, but they have their core strengths. For instance, that Copilot that we saw behind the scenes earlier, I'm very certain it behind the scenes is writing some Python script that it doesn't show to me. Okay, and when it's done with writing the Python script, it generates a chart, which it doesn't add back to the Excel file. It basically just generates that as a response for me to pick up from the chat screen there. Okay, if you already know how to write Python, knock yourself out. But if not, it will generate that for you and generate a response for you based off that. Okay, so now using a cloud tool, and I will just go straight into it. Cloud and I think Gemini is great. These two tools are currently great at generating what we call front end that I love. Front end in this case is if you are designing an application or you just want to create a nice front end for a particular field, you can ask Cloud to get to work and provide you, in this case, for Cloud, I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to ask you to specifically generate a dashboard for us. Now, the way to solve that problem is what I want to showcase to you. So how do I go about this? I can go straight here, just like I did the other one. This time around, I have to upload my file by myself. I have to drag and drop my file here. Where is it? I hope this has not been boring to you. I have been following. This has been working for me. Can I just get your thumbs up? And the rest has been working for me. This is an eye opener for me. This works. This works for me. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Okay, good. I'm seeing 2.3%. Good. Thank you very much for. Okay, thank you. I'm glad that we're at least able to showcase some things to you. Quite eye opening. Fantastic. Please, if you've not started before now is an opportunity to start using these things. I already provided my reservations as regards, not reservations, I provided the caution as regards to sharing data. That's one something that you should look into. But if you're already using Excel organization, there's a very likelihood that you're already good. But if in your own case you're using Google Sheets, there's also the same tools available for Google Sheets as well. Utilize them accordingly. All right, now this is Cloud. The same question I asked the other guy, I uploaded the file, copy and pasted, or just use the attachment option here. We just concluded that blah, 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 what kind of data is available here. I'll just keep it at the same prompt. I want to even get it started with reasoning with me on my current data set. Okay, as you can see, LLM at play again, generating text for me in real time. Looking at your sales, you have a comprehensive data set with 700 records. This one is sounding a bit more assertive in terms of what it's able to generate. Okay, segments like blah, 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 blah. Now, let's even take it a step further. What kind, I know what, you and I know what this guy is saying at the moment. I've not opened I've not shown you the Excel file, but you get the point. As you can see, he's already asking, would you like a deeper dive into this? That is, or create some visualization. I would like you to do some visualizations very soon. What kind of questions can I answer using this data? You can also ask it, what kind of questions can't I answer using this data? It's the same tool. What kind of questions can I answer using this data? What kind of question can't I answer? Let it even go to work and tell you, oh, based on this data, we can't answer this because it's not available. I can also ask it a step further and provide reasons. Provide reasons for this. Prompting. This is, again, I know I'm touching on different things in AI space today. I'm talking about prompting today, I'm talking about tokens, I'm talking about this, but this is the context, right? This is how it works. This is how artificial intelligence was bringing it home for you, for those who are using Excel today, and provide reasons for this. It's the same Excel file. We are interacting with our Excel file like as if it is now, like as if it's your boss just asking the same questions. If you already know the questions your boss will ask you, you can just basically pass it in here. But please don't tell your boss that you're using AI for your unless your boss is like me, that is okay with that. Okay. Questions you can answer: performance based on country, all right, what product generated the highest, blah, 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 trend analysis. It can see it's already generating for me what I can answer. Then what can't I answer? I can't answer my customer churn rate. I can't do computer analysis based on this. I can't do this information. Okay, good. This is the system, in this case, Cloud, going to work on the current data set that I have. Still answer me like we are chatting based on my current data set. It is using an LLM behind the scenes to provide. This is a tool. Cloud is a tool. Google is a tool. Google.com that you currently search. I think I had a class. I had a session recently on tools. The tools we currently have today. Google itself is a tool. Cloud is a tool in this case. But behind the scenes, what Cloud is using is an LLM, which they have provided, which they created themselves at their own side. The LLM we are using at the moment is what we call Cloud Sonnet 4, as it here at the bottom left corner here. You can see there are different versions available for you. Okay, but now let's do what I actually wanted it to do in the first place. Can you provide me an interactive dashboard with the data available in here? Also provide me this is all real time, so in case it messes up, please don't we're going to fix it together in real time. Also provide me a filter. Also provide me a filter for the countries. All right, for the countries. I like to interact with my data that way. Okay. I can also give it its mind. Let it use its own mind. It also include any other relevant, I don't know, filters if need be. This is me being as clear as possible. If I wanted to provide specific things, I can also ask it to do that here. But let's just go with this for now. Now, while it's doing this, I want to explain something to you in the person. Behind the scenes, it's thank God this one. Can you see this one is analyzing in real time? It's showing it to you. It is writing a script right now. It is writing a script that is doing certain things. It is reading. This is a script that is meant to read my CSV. It has gone. It is now. It has done. It is done with the analysis. If you know how to write this, and this, it is using JavaScript. It is not using Excel formulas. That's why I want to separate here. I know these are AI tools for Excel, but it's not using like Excel formulas to do this job. It is using web language today to solve the same problem. And right now, it is now creating a dashboard that is using, this is, well, by the way, on the right-hand side, what is writing here is HTML, the web language for browsers. Okay? What does this mean? It's giving me not an Excel file with responses. No, it is giving me an interactive dashboard. Can you see that? This happened just in front of you. It has given me a web interactive dashboard based on my Excel file that when I go to countries, I can see a drop down of the countries from my Excel file. I click on it, it filters out my data. People, I don't know. Is this wonderful or not? I beg if it's wonderful, let's give this particular tool its own round of applause. But let's give it an accolade. Let's give it its own accolade. Let's give it. Okay, I love the fact that you said can you download as an Excel file. This is not, as I was explaining it while it was going through this. This is not an Excel file. This right now is a complete web application. Yes, a web application based on your data. This right in front of you is a complete web application. Let me scroll down. There's chats there. Oh, come on. it just ran into an error. I was going to scroll down. Why are you doing this? Try fixing with cloud. Let me see what's going on here. It ran into an error while I was trying to scroll down. So it's trying to fix that. Let's see what error is fixing in there. But while it's doing that, okay, I should refresh. That's actually true. I should have refreshed the screen instead of asking it to go to work and see what happens. Anyways, what I'm showing you in front of you right here is I have an Excel file. You can send this application or this web application right now in this format to your colleagues and they will interact with it in real time, like it's going to happen. Do you get? It's going to happen. This guy is going to, it's going to happen. Why is it actually refresh? This is refresh, right? Let me refresh this screen. Just give me a sec. Let me be sure what exactly is happening, right? As I said, this is happening in real time. So we'll see what is going on. This is my code. This is my interactive report. Okay, it was going to load that. Actually, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. Just refreshing helped. Okay. My time is really fast spent. This is a chart created for me. What's going on? I have to just refresh again. Please pardon me. I don't know what's going on. I think switching my browsers is messing with it right now. So this is my chart on the right-hand side here with numbers shown to me in real time. Okay, this is my chart in real time shown to me, and once I interact with I can see all discounts. What are the high, low discounts? I can see what the years are, what the products are, and so on and so forth. By the way, I did this right now with a free version of Cloud. If you have a paid version of Cloud, you can do this and even more using Cloud. You can see publish here. When someone asked me not too long ago, can I share this with you? Can I download this to Excel? No, you cannot download this to Excel, because behind the scenes, what is there is some very long set of HTML codes, right, that represents this particular response. All right, a web application. So what you can do right now is you can publish this to web and send it to your colleagues, and they'll be able to interact with these results in real time. Okay, I thought I should just mention that. So this is for Cloud, and the reason I came to Cloud is because I want to be able to showcase this to you in case you've not experienced this side of Cloud before. Try it out and see for yourself. Okay, now I'm not here currently checking out whether the results here are correct. These are some of the things I will have to validate myself, and if it is not correct, whatever the reason is, I can use my prompting here to fix that. The total sales should not consider this and this. Total sales should be this and that. In short, you can even ask the tool to confirm what exactly it gave to you here as total sales, just in case it has gone ahead to add up two different things. If your data is just add it here. If you have a new data set, add it here. Upload your file. Answer the question that just came in. If you have a new data set, upload your file, add a new file here, and take it up from there. Okay, upload your new file. Remember, these are the tools that we're using outside of Excel. Outside of Excel. I repeat that again, outside of Excel. They have their own unique way of solving the same problems. In the age of AI, there are just different ways that leads to solving the same problem. Okay. My time is, my time is really fast spent. Okay, let's see if we can do one more with bricks. Okay, let's see if we can do one more with bricks. I know I said I wanted to show you Cloud because I was actually excited. I love what Cloud does, and I feel like this is a very good time to showcase this. I mean, you try it out and let's see what comes out for you. Okay, you try it out and let's see what comes out for you. Do you have any questions at this point before I proceed on to bricks? Please, I would like you to spend just a few more minutes so that we can try one more tool. I know time was going to be our constraint for today, but if you want to learn this we're discussing today, if you want to learn this even in more detail, we have an Excel class at the Academy that you can sign up for. We have our AI classes. If you're interested in learning more about these AI tools, or even Excel specifically, want to learn more about Excel or the other fantastic things you can do in Excel beyond 1 hour, 30 minutes time frame that we have, please drop your name, your email, and phone number in the chat box, or better still, send an email to hello@camanda.academy, and we'll reach out to you with the program so you can sign up for one of them and be a part of that particular class. A new cohort will be starting out in August. So please do well to, if you want to learn more about this beyond 1 hour, 30 minutes constraint, we're more than happy to work with you on that. So we're going to bricks. All right, I'm trying to just log into bricks so that we can. Bricks is available at thebricks.com. So in case you want to give it a try, I'll just share, just like I've done so far. I will share the URL. I'll share the URL here, thebricks.com. So in case you want to try bricks, please try thebricks.com and we can take it from there. Okay, so now I'm currently inside of bricks. This is my bricks screen. I'm currently logged in. Bricks also has a free version, but you can of course pay to utilize more features and functionalities. Okay, and just like with every other tool, now this one, you can see the interface here is different. The other ones have given you chat interfaces, but this one right now is giving you a different kind of interface to say, hey, start with a blank file. This one intentionally has been created for Excel and spreadsheet reporting. Okay, now, and again, even if you want to learn these particular tools, please do well to reach out. I'll be more than happy to take you on these classes. So in this case, you can say start with a dashboard or report, or start with a blank file. In my own case, I'll start with a blank file. What kind of file? Copy and paste or import a file? I'll import a file. So I'm just going to import the same financial sample that we've been playing with. Okay. Same financial sample that we've been playing with. That's gone to work. As you can see, it is already starting in real time. I didn't preempt this, people. I did not preempt. This is happening as we are speaking. as we are speaking, it is already preparing a layout, right? It's going to create a block for your dashboard. It's going to now generate insight. Now, this is how this right now is what an agent looks like. All right, this is a tool, but behind this, right, this is what an agent looks like. It is taking different things, trying to make different things work in real time. This is a report, a dashboard already coming to reality, like in front of us. Are we together? Using the Bricks platform. I'm not going to spend so much time on this. Of course, we're going to get the recording of today's session. It's going to get to your emails in a before the end of today. Please do well to look out for the emails from us. As you can see, it is generating insight, and based off the data that is available, all right, it is now generating some insight, generating a summary in addition. All right, now finalizing your dashboard. So my dashboard right now is currently complete. I can recreate, I can do more things in here. All right. You can see right here, these blocks are currently editable. Please stop. We almost said my blocks are currently editable in this case, which means I can go in here and I can update my dashboard. I can update the different things that it has created for me in real time. It has taken my discount band, provided a pie chart. Without me asking it to use pie charts, it tries to understand what makes sense to provide as a pie chart, what makes sense to provide as a bar chart, what makes sense to provide as what's this chart again? I can't remember. I can't remember the name of this chart right now. Sorry, I've been speaking for a while. What makes sense to provide in form of a table, and provided me some insights in front of it. What are my top products by profit? Yes, and if I want to add more, I can do that here. When I'm done, I can share. Okay, and as you can see on the left hand side, bottom left hand side here, these tools, obviously, this is, remember I told you about tokens earlier. Each of these tools are currently measuring their performance or usage based on tokens, the messages that you are sending to it. Okay, and yeah, this is a summary at the top here based on the same data that has been provided. Different tools acting in different ways, providing us the same insight or different kind of insight based on their own capabilities. I believe with time, there will be some specialized tools or specialized things, but these are just 3 tools already within the space of this time frame that we are able to utilize. Okay, so please do well to try them out. I beg you, please try them out. You'll be glad you did. It's still the same Excel. We have been using Excel. We have used Excel for a very long time. But right now, we're able to even do something smarter with the same Excel files using AI tools that are available to us today. All right. That's another extra 5 minutes taken. So the last but not the least, which is where I'm rounding up for today, I must share this one in Excel. In short, I'm not going to show how it works. I'm just going to show you how you install it in Excel. I talked about add-ins in Excel. All right. The add-in I'm going to recommend for you in Excel to try out today is, by the way, this is the financial data. Let me show you what the financial data looks like. Let me show you what the financial data looks like. So you see what these particular tools have been going to work on, what they have been going to work on so far. This is what the financial data looks like to your left. Okay, this is a sample data set to your left. Okay, right now, this particular formula that is written here was written by the AI tool. As you can see, percentage discount issued in column J. I have sales in column I. Generates for me a formula. It generated I this divided by this because I want it to give me percentage discount. Now, how do I install GPT for Excel? This is not Copilot. Copilot is 30 USD per month. If you can afford it and you want to use it, please do so. But this right now is currently available relatively free. Again, there's usually a free. Copilot doesn't give you a free version today. Some of these tools currently give you that. How do I get GPT for Excel? This one at the top right corner here. This is it here. Where my mouse is, GPT for Excel. This one right now, for the person that's been asking me about having things in Excel, it will do its own responses inside of Excel. It will provide you answers inside of Excel, and it will remain inside of Excel. So this one is a file you can send to somebody else. Okay, and they can use it without even the formulas will exist inside of Excel, like every other Excel file. But the GPT tool here, becomes available to do things like translation, extraction. For instance, I can ask you to classify these countries into regions. I can use AI tool today to ask it classify my country into regions. I need to go ahead and classify it into regions. Time is not my very good friend right here. You can also use the help tool here to get more information around that. But let's go to the add-ins quickly so I can show you that. Once you go to add-ins here, usually is one of the first ones you see up here. You'll see GPT for Excel. Okay, popular add-ins, GPT for Excel and Word. Install it by just clicking on add. Let me add another one here. I don't want it, but I'll just add another one here. Let me add Python for Excel so you see what it looks like. Once I click on add, it goes to work to add that tool to my available add-ins. Once it is done, you will find that the add-ins the add-in is currently up. Can you see here? I have Python here now. This is my GPT for Excel and Word. So please, if you want to use GPT for Excel and Word, this is available for you. All right, utilize it. At least for them, they have free. Like in this case, you don't need to. You can use their own models, their own API keys to interact with the LLMs behind the scenes. Now, that's why I wanted to explain the concept of LLMs. ChatGPT is using 4.40 mini and the rest. Even your Excel is also using the same thing because these are just large language models and you can utilize them to do different other tasks wherever it needs to be. Okay, so these guys have provided an add-in inside of Excel. Copilot for Excel is also available. If you pay for the subscription, you'll find it up here as well. You can then do what you want to do inside of, you can create custom prompts, you can translate, you can extract, you can do things related to vision, use their help documents to get more information around this. You can even generate new formulas as you wish. Okay, so I would like to draw the curtains. We promised to stop. I mean, we also started about 9-10 minutes into the time, so I thought I should just pay back that 10 minutes. So we are currently have exhausted the time for this particular session. It's been for me an interesting session sharing this with you. All right, please don't let it just be that session you just attended and you had to you didn't use it. Use this particular one. Use it. We're going to also share this video with you. Try it out. Use it for yourself. It's been a pleasure sharing this knowledge with you. I don't know if anyone has any question or comments at this point. Now would be a good time for us to go over that. Questions, comments at this point before we round up. I learned a lot. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much, Adobe, for that comment. Thank you too. Thank you for being a part of this. Yes, Miss Samuel Namdi, your hand is up. You want to ask a question? I think I know that name. Let's go ahead. Hello. We can't hear you if you're saying anything. Yes, I can hear you now. It's quite spotty, but I can hear you.
Okay, I'll ask you
all right. If you can drop it in the chat box, we really appreciate. It's a bit of a struggle hearing what you are saying. All right. Thank you very much for trying to bring that up. Does anybody else want to say something or comment before we leave? Okay, I will use AI. I will use AI, whether in Excel or for anything. I will use AI. Can you please indicate by raising your hand? Let me see how many converts I have today. I will use AI. Can you please indicate by raising your hand? Please. I'm going to use AI. All right. Can I see 3? Good. I don't need 3 people out of all of this. No, now come on. How many converts do we have today? All right. I will use AI. Please do well to utilize artificial intelligence. Is going to make life a lot easier for us. It's going to make life a lot more interesting for us. Be that professional who is using artificial intelligence, not the one scared of artificial intelligence taking away their job. That's been my time. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you. Do enjoy the rest of your day. If you want to learn more about any of these tools, or you want to learn Excel or learn artificial intelligence, please, as I said earlier, drop your message in the chat box here. Drop your name, email address, and phone number. We'll reach out to you. Or you can send us an email to hello@camanda.academy. I'll drop that here so everyone can have access to it. hello@camanda.academy. And if you want to reach out to me personally, just write to e@camanda.academy. I'll be more than happy to support you. Those are the two emails. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for today's session. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Expect the recording in your mailbox. Bye for now.